Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayappadire. Ashtaprayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtike. Om Jnana Tamirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we'll continue our reading of Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 2, Text 21, where Uddhav is speaking about his remembrance of Lord Krishna to Vidura. Swayam tva asham yati shasyastra dishaha swarajya lakshmi apta samasta kamaha balim haradibis chiraloka palehe Kirita Kotye Ditapada Pittaha. Lord Sri Krishna is the Lord of all kinds of trees and is independently supreme in achievement of all kinds of fortune. He is worshipped by the eternal maintainers of the creation who offer him the paraphernalia of worship by touching their millions of helmets to his feet. Lord Sri Krishna is so mild and merciful as described in the above verses, and yet he is the Lord of all kinds of trees. He is the Supreme Lord of the three worlds, the three qualities of material nature, and the three Purushas, Karana Dakshai Vishnu, Karana Dakshai, Garbho Dakshai, and Shiro Dakshai Vishnu. So Uddhav is calling Krishna as the Lord of trees. All kinds of trees, because he's the Lord of the three worlds, the heavenly planets, the lower planets, the middle planets. Then he's the Lord of the three qualities of material nature, Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And he's also the Lord of the Mahavishnu, the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and the Shirodakshai Vishnu. But, I'm sorry. But in spite he is the Lord of all this, he's controlling everything. His nature is mild and merciful. Prabhupada is bringing that to our notice. Krishna is actually very, very merciful. What he wants is just for us to come back. He does not want us to suffer in this material world. He's like a kind father who keeps telling his child, come back. Why do you want to suffer in take all the tribulations? Come, and I'm maintaining you. Come back to the spiritual world to me. There are innumerable universes, and in each and every universe, there are different manifestations of Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. Besides that, there is the Shesha Murti who bears all the universes on his hoods. So the Sheshnag, he has thousands and thousands of hoods, and all the universes are like mustard seeds on his various hoods. Mustard seeds are so tiny. We can hold how many mustard seeds in our palm? Similarly, Lord Ananta Shesh, he's holding these innumerable universes on his hoods like mustard seeds. So how great he is. What's his size? And it is said that he has been speaking the glories of Krishna since time immemorial. Until now, he's not come to the end of the glories of Krishna. Because as Krishna is unlimited, his glories are also unlimited. And Lord Krishna is the Lord of all of them. As the incarnation of Manu, he is the original source of all Manus in innumerable universes. Each universe has manifestations of 504,000 Manus. He's the Lord of the three principal potencies, namely Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. And he's the complete master of 6 kinds of fortune: wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. So Krishna, he's as Manu, he comes to give set the example for mankind, to rule over mankind. So he's the original source of Manu. And Prabhupada is saying that in each universe, there are 504,000 Manus. And so Krishna is coming each time. And also his three principles, Krishna has many energies, but for our sake, these energies are divided into 3. His internal energy, which is called the Chit Shakti, then his external energy, which is called the Maya Shakti, and the marginal energy, which are the living entities like us, and we are the Tatastha Shakti. That means like we are on the shore, on the border. Either we are under the shelter of the spiritual energy, or we take shelter of the external energy. We are either taking shelter of Bhakti Devi or of Mahamaya. The choice is ours. And Krishna is the complete master of 6 kinds of fortune: wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. There is none who can excel him in any matter of enjoyment, and certainly there is no one greater than him. No one is equal to or greater than him. It is the duty of everyone, whoever and wherever one may be, to surrender completely unto him. It is not wonderful, therefore, that all the transcendental controllers surrender to him and make all offerings of worship. So Prabhupada is saying that all the Vedas, all the great personalities, all the authorities, they all surrender to Krishna. Why? Because he's the greatest. He's the greatest. There's no one greater than him. If we make a research one, who is greater than me, who's greater than me, who's greater than me, we will come to Krishna. And once we come to Krishna, we will find no one greater than him. No one even equal to him. And so here, Prabhupada is writing, it is the duty of everyone, whoever and wherever one may be, to surrender completely unto him. So if we are not surrendering to Krishna, we are not doing our duty. It is the duty of every living entity to surrender to Krishna. Why? Because he's the one who's created us. He's the one who's maintaining us. He's taking care of us. And so it is our duty to surrender to him, to recognize him, to recognize his position, what he's doing for us. When we do things for our children, and then if the child just disregards it, totally disregards, we will still continue to maintain them, but we won't have that loving relationship. We will, of course, because they are children, we will still continue to support them. But if the child accepts that, oh, and he just comes and says, oh, my dear father, my dear mother, thank you, you're taking so much nice care of me. Let me try to do something for you. Then that parent will have so much more love for the child. The reciprocation will be there. So same, when we surrender to Krishna, then begins our reciprocation. And our surrender begins by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. You just start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and hearing about Krishna from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And that is our beginning of surrender. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chapter, text 22. Tattasya kenkaryam alambratanno vigalpatya angayat ugrasenam tithas tishthan nishanam prameshti dishnye nyabodaya deva nidarayeti. Therefore, O Vidur, does it not pain us, his servitors, when we remember that he, Lord Krishna, used to stand before King Ugrasen, who was sitting on the royal throne, and used to submit explanations before him, saying, "O my Lord, please let it be known to you." Lord Krishna's gentle behavior before his so-called superiors, such as his father, grandfather, and elder brother, his amiable behavior with his so-called wives, friends, and contemporaries, his behavior as a child before his mother Yashoda, and his naughty dealings with his young girlfriends cannot bewilder a pure devotee like Uddhav. Others who are not devotees are bewildered by such behavior of the Lord, who acted just like a human being. This bewilderment is explained by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11 as follows. So Uddhav is saying he's the Supreme Lord. Everything belongs to him. He does not need to submit. He does not need to report to anyone. But because he's playing the role, he's come in the form of a human being. So he's playing his role very perfectly. He's setting a perfect example. Ugrasen, he's the king. Although he was his grandfather, he was the king. And so Krishna is not saying, oh, I'm the greatest, so why shall I report to you? You know, how do we act sometimes out of our ego? Oh, why shall I report to you? You know, I'm so great. Who are you that I should need to tell you anything? But here, Krishna is the greatest. And yet he is reporting to Ugrasen, my dear, and in a very pleasing way. My dear Lord, please let it be known to you. You know, and how do we act when we think that, you know, that we are the one who is the superior in this situation? And how is Krishna acting? Avajananti mam muda manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto mam bhuta maheshwaram. Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge belittle the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, not knowing his exalted position as the Lord of everything. So people can get bewildered. Oh, Krishna is playing like that in his role. Why do you say he's the Supreme Lord? He's coming and reporting to Ugrasen. Or he's so afraid of his mother Yashoda. And see how he's playing with his boyfriends, the cowherd boys and how the cowherd girls. And why do you say he's the Lord? If he was God, he wouldn't be acting like that. He would be acting like Almighty, you know. And so even Brahmaji got bewildered when Krishna was acting like this in Vrindavan. Brahmaji also got bewildered that, oh, how come my Lord is playing like this with ordinary boys? How come he's not sitting in a palace with people offering him prayers and all that? So Krishna's activities are bewildering, but a pure devotee does not get bewildered by Krishna's activities. They can understand Krishna's behavior. How much ever Krishna reveals to the pure devotee. Because the devotee has love for Krishna, Krishna reveals himself. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge belittle the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, not knowing his exalted position as the Lord of everything. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has explained his position clearly, but the demoniac atheistic student squeezes out an interpretation to suit his own purpose and misleads unfortunate followers into the same mentality. Such unfortunate persons merely pick up some slogans from the great book of knowledge, but are unable to estimate the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we know that there are so many commentators on Bhagavad Gita, but their intention is not to glorify Krishna, not to understand the truth and explain the truth. Their purpose is just to mislead the followers. They are making their own interpretations, what Krishna is trying to say. They're just using some word jugglery, but that's not going to benefit them, and neither is it going to benefit their followers, because they're very, very far away from the truth. Pure devotees like Uddhav, however, are never misled by such atheistic opportunists. So we should also safeguard ourselves. We should not hear the commentary of Bhagavad Gita from someone who's not a devotee of the Lord, because then we are being misled, they are cheating us, we are being cheated, and what benefit is that going to give us? We are still going to remain in the material world. We won't be able to reestablish our relationship with Krishna. We won't even understand what is Bhagavad Gita all about. So we should be careful who we are hearing from. Text 23. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jigham sayapayayad api asadve lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tato anyam kam vadayalum sharanam rajema. This is a very famous verse. It's quoted by many people. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was faithful and prepared, she was unfaithful, and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So how merciful is Krishna, Uddhava is saying. How shall I take shelter of one more merciful than Krishna? Because Putana was coming to kill him. She put poison on her breast to kill him. And yet he gave her the position of a nurse in Goloka Vrindavan. Here is an example of the extreme mercy of the Lord, even to his enemy. It is said that a noble man accepts the good qualities of a person of doubtful character, just as one accepts nectar from a stalk of poison. So a noble person, he might see a person has bad qualities also, but he just accepts the good qualities. What do we accept? A person has bad qualities and good qualities, and what qualities do we focus in another person?
Only good.
Are we focusing on their good qualities? Are we saying, oh, at least he has this good? Or are we just pointing out their bad qualities?
Pointing out the bad.
We are focusing on the bad.
Yeah, but look at Krishna. Although Bhutna is a demon, she has no good quality except that she fed him milk. She was killing all the babies, but she came to feed him milk, and he's looking at that. He's not looking that, oh, she has done so. She came to kill me. If somebody were to come and try to kill us, how much, what do you say, grudge we would hold against that person. So Krishna is all merciful. We should take shelter of Krishna. There is no one more merciful than Krishna. In his babyhood, he was administered deadly poison by Putana, a she-demon, who tried to kill the wonderful baby. And because she was a demon, it was impossible for her to know that the Supreme Lord, even though playing the part of a baby, was no one less than the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. She didn't know he's God. She didn't know that. It was just that Kamsa had told them, go kill all the babies who are born in this area in the past 10 days or so. That's what he had told them, that go kill all of them. So she was just killing. She didn't know he's God. His value as the Supreme Lord did not diminish upon his becoming a baby to please his devotee, Yashoda. The Lord may assume the form of a baby or a shape other than that of a human being, but it doesn't make the slightest difference. He's always the same Supreme. So even though Krishna is in the form of a baby, it doesn't stop him from being God, doesn't take away his powers. Or even if he's in another shape, as Prabhupada is saying, than a living being. Krishna has come, he's come as Matsya avatar in the form of a ship, in the form of a fish. And then he's come as Kurma in the form of a tortoise, and he's performed wonderful, wonderful activities. So he's God always. It doesn't matter in what form he's coming. A living creature, however powerful he may become, by dint of severe penance, can never become equal to the Supreme Lord. So many of us, we try to become powerful. We try to get some mystic powers or some knowledge. We try to gain some knowledge. And then we are trying to compete with Krishna in that way. But no matter how much we try, we can try for millions and millions of births. We can never, ever compete with Krishna. We can never become equal to Krishna. We will always be subordinate to him. Lord Krishna accepted the motherhood of Putana because she pretended to be an affectionate mother, allowing Krishna to suck her breast. The Lord accepts the least qualification of the living entity and awards him the highest reward. That is the standard of his character. Therefore, who but the Lord can be the ultimate shelter? So the acharyas, they always speak about this verse that Buddha was saying to bring out this merciful quality of Krishna, that he's so merciful. Can you imagine? That he's accepting. Putna came to kill him, but just she gave him his milk, so she's saying he's giving her the position of a mother. So we just should take shelter of Krishna. Just take shelter of him, and he's there, all loving, ever waiting for us. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was so beautiful that you said that we should try and see the good qualities in the people. Because we are so accustomed, like in one of the lectures, Adi-Lila Prabhu also said that we are like the makhis. There are two, the madhumakhi and the makhi. Because we always concentrate on the negative qualities of the other person, that's why we are makhi. So we should try to become a madhumakhi, that we are attracted by the good qualities of the person. Yeah. As everybody of us is filled with both good and bad. So I think he gave one of the disciples came and he said that, Prabhuji, this person is doing this person. So he said, okay, from today onwards, you are just going to report me any good quality, just one good quality of person, just one of anybody like whom you are reporting the bad qualities about them, start reporting the good. And then he started reporting him one good quality. And then within a fraction of months, he changed his personality, changed that person's personality changed. He started seeing only the good in the other person. Before, he just used to pinpoint and talk about the negative qualities कि ये इतना गंदा है. ये तो प्रभु जी ने उनको पूछा कि अच्छा भी तो कुछ होगा उसके अंदर. There must be something good. So start focusing on the good. You don't have to focus on the bad. You just tell me the good ones. And then at the end, he used to just sing the glories. He had no time. So then Prabhuji said, see, look how you became from Machar to a Madhumakhi.
So nice. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. So that's what we also have to endeavor. We have to endeavor, although we can see only the bad, we should force ourselves to see the good in others. Somehow or the other. Even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say that. Exactly as you said, that this Prabhuji was saying, come and just tell me the good about somebody. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when somebody would come and report him about the bad qualities, he would say, now that you have said the bad about this person, with the same tongue, now you glorify that person. Please tell me the good qualities of that person. And then the person would say, oh yes, he has this good quality, and this is this good quality, this good quality, and his total, his outlook for that, his perception of that person would change. And so we should also try to see the good in others instead of fault finding. And when we see the fault in others, actually that fault is in us. Krishna is showing us a reflection because we refuse to see our own faults. So when we see a fault in others, one is that we appreciate another, we see the good quality in them, and also try to see this fault that I'm seeing in this person, this fault, let me see where is this fault in me? Because that same fault is there in us. That's why we can see it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see it. So we should try to detect that fault and try to work on that. As we say that we point one finger towards others, 4 fingers are pointing to us. So the fault is there to even a bigger degree in us. And we should try to work on that. So, and then be grateful to that person that you are being an instrument for me to, for me to self-introspect, to look within. So that person is an instrument in the hands of Krishna for our benefit. Instead of, trying to blaspheme them. Just introspect. So we can stop here for today.
Okay.
But yeah, this verse that we just read is all the acharyas, they keep repeating this verse, the glories of Krishna, how Krishna is so merciful, so merciful. No one is more merciful than him, that he's the Supreme Lord. If he wants, he could have told us that, oh, you left me, you want to be offending me, you go, I don't need to see you ever again. But he keeps coming himself, he keeps sending his devotees, he keeps making these special days for us that we can become closer and closer to him, go back to him. He's coming, he came as Lord Caitanya to give the holy name. He's sending his devotees each time. So he's very merciful, very loving. He's just waiting for us with open arms. He's waiting for us to look toward him. That's only thing we have to do. We have to look towards him and say, Krishna, I want to come back to you. He will make the arrangements. So we stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shilpa Shyam ki jai, Gaurav Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.